Hey guys, it's Khadija with ThisIsRnB.com, and today we are in for royalty treat. I just have to say, we're here with the Grammy Award-winning singer, songwriter, the phenomenal all-around artist, Ledisi. Welcome.
Wow, thanks for having me. I'm honored.
Yes. What an honor. It's our honor to have you today. Let's just jump right into it. Let's talk about your 11th album, Good Life. It's a major milestone for you. Let's talk about what all went into it and what does this album represent and mean to you?
Well, I Good Life took about 3 years to make. It was one of the hardest projects, probably because I had all these other things going on at the same time. And I was working with the Nina project and doing orchestra dates. Then I went on tour with Kim, and we had to have a single, and I Need to Know kind of dictated how I'm gonna start a little bit. And I was like, wait a minute, I don't want to do ballads the whole thing, but it felt really good. Like as we were going along though, it got better, meaning I started understanding, don't think about it so personal. Let it go and think about the human experience. Think about what's going on with people. They want to feel good. They want to feel better. They want music that makes them like old school but still new.
Yeah.
And I like sitting in the middle with contemporary music as well as giving you something classic. And that's what's made me, the 11th album. That's what's steadied me, is because people love what I bring to the table, which is a little bit of something old, but also something contemporary. And so with this album, I wanted something, I kept thinking of the old, 70s, like the Nisi album, and I thought of Earth, Wind and Fire. I thought of all the things that make us feel good, just human experience, even in our chaos, in life being good and not perfect is how we get through. That's what makes our life good, is how we get through everything, the lessons we learn from our mistakes. And so the album came, I started thinking like an actor as opposed to worrying about how I'm gonna be personal about it. Cause I'm not going through anything. I'm trying to figure out my, where we living, and I don't have anything to say really personally. But then I started thinking, as a human, how did we get through some of the things we get through? And we enjoy life, we're grateful for it, but it's chaotic, it's messy, it's not perfect, And so I wrote songs that felt chaotic, but feel good at the same time. Because even the things that aren't good for us feel good. And we have to figure out, okay, how do we fix that? You know what I mean?
Right.
It's all deceiving. So I'm just a realist when I do songwriting. When I think of albums, I think of the people who are listening. I don't think of myself all the time. I'm always thinking about the consumer, but I'm also thinking as an artist as well. I have to be an artist, and I suggest that to any artist, but also think about your consumer who's buying it. And my audience they love my voice, and they love what I bring.
Everyone.
And I have to make sure I'm singing my face off every single time, giving them stuff that feels good. And then I don't have to oversing, just tell the story, And so that's how we focused on it. I got a great duet with Kenny Lattimore.
Yes.
Perfect Stranger. I thought about the full arc of like loving life, and then all the chaotic going on. And what if I met someone that like me, I like them, but I don't know them, and we don't know each other, but we like each other. It felt good with that kind of vibe, And then having more songs that, like, what if I am with someone and I want them to know, even though I'm away from you, I still think about you, All those things went into play. And I love working with Rex Rideout, who is the glue that held everything together, talked to the other producers when I was on the road and made sure they did what I needed, and worked with other writers. He suggested Hello Love, that I turned down 5 times. It's one of the biggest songs.
Yeah.
Down 5 times, because that comes back to self-love, because you get through stuff, you're like, okay, what did I learn? How do I love myself a little better and be more mindful of what I include in my circle and all those things? So I'm going on and on, but that's how Good Life came about, which is I love it. It took it.
Yeah.
I sequenced all the songs. I did let go of a few songs. That was hard.
I was
letting
gonna
my
say that is very hard as an artist. You put all your blood work,
Oh,
sweat, and tears into these songs, and then you have to let some go,
see,
or just hold them
but
in the
imagine your
archive.
baby. This is your baby, right?
Yeah,
With somebody coming in trying to
yes,
tell you to take out.
yes. Listen, I'm a writer as well, but for children's book, so
See, so you
I
get it.
understand. I'm like, but that worked out so good. It will resonate with my readers, and they're like, no, we gotta remove it. Something's
They're
gotta
like,
go.
too
You
many
can't have a
songs. You
200
can
page
only
picture book.
have. You can only have this amount. And I'm like,
Yeah, yes,
ugh. So I had to let some of my babies sit to the side. I
yeah.
had artists on it, and they were like, "What?" I'm like, "Listen." But this flow feels so good. They get it now. It has to
Yeah.
have a story, and people aren't even into. That's what blew me away. People aren't into uh, full concept albums. Really, they love singles more than
It's
anything.
unfortunate.
So for the response I'm getting, where people have a different song they like off the album, that means they like the whole thing. So it's good. You're
Yes,
doing good.
definitely. I mean, and we recently interviewed DJ Camper, who you
Oh,
worked
I
with
love
too.
Camper.
Yes, yes, you work with Camper as well. And that was one of the things we had discussed about like how people,
Yeah.
the way technology works and the consumer receives music, everything is just kind of in an instant. No one really is, putting together a full album. And this is, a beautiful body work of art and a testament to that. So definitely, definitely, I would agree
I
with that.
am once again cutting up, doing things differently.
Yes, 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 yes,
And the old way at that. Still
yes.
bringing in the old stuff, but I can't help it. It's like, and Camper is my contemporary guy that understands my voice.
Mhm.
We do some crazy stuff together,
Yeah,
and everyone always goes, "Oh my God, that's my joint," and I'm like,
right.
it's me and Camper being silly and being
Yes,
artists, having fun with the music, and I'm like, he's like, "You're my Aretha." I'm like, "Well, that's how I thought of this. I thought that old piano on Me and You ain't good for me.
yeah,
Hello, you and
yes.
me ain't good for me."
Right, right, right. Right. I mean, but that's also just a true artist, I feel
Right,
like
right, right.
any genre you can hit that they're just limitless and it just sounds effortless when you sing. Your voice
I
is so
promise you,
rich.
it's not though. It's promise you.
Well, you make it look that way, and we as the
I'm
consumers
trying.
and fans, we feel it. So you can't convince us otherwise. We won't
Be
have
like,
it.
no,
No, we won't have it.
no,
We
it's
won't have it.
easy for you.
And let's just talk briefly on the jazz genre that you're working
Yeah,
in, and Ledisi sings Nina, which
yeah.
oh my gosh, I was so upset because I was in New York at the time. I was at Carnegie Hall and I was like,
What?
she's there. I have to see her perform. How was that experience and just the well received, recognition that you received from that?
It felt like, only because I can see certain people, in every row, there was someone I have met along my journey in the row.
Mhm.
And I had to, when I walked out and I saw them and I was about to start, I said, "Well, hold on a minute." And everyone went, I had to catch my breath, and
Yeah.
they stood up and clapped.
Mm.
And I went, "No, you're going to make it worse." That's what I'm thinking.
Right.
Because I couldn't hold my breath. First of all, I'm honoring history was
Yeah.
here.
Right.
Nina was there in
Mhm.
Carnegie Hall. And
Mhm.
here I am bringing her back, but also bringing myself to that table as well. It
Right.
blew my mind. It's
Yeah.
like everybody I have met along my journey was in that room. And it's like they flew from San Francisco, from Oakland, LA, people were in New York. New York was in there.
Right. Definitely.
My mom flew in. It's like everybody, like whoever knows, they've been waiting for me to have this moment, and they all came in the room. I paid for my orchestra. That stuff costs money. Like,
Yeah.
I put blood, sweat, and tears to make this moment historic for not just me before the honoring of the great Nina Simone, and then the honoring of the legacy that I'm trying to build for myself. It felt so good to perform that music, to sing classical, to sing in French, in that thing, to sing jazz. I felt like I was completing my whole self. I sang the blues, I sang my songs, which is R&B. So I got to be my full self with no limits. It was limitless. It's like it could be all the things and still honor a great at the same time and honor the road I've been on. It blew me away. If someone said you're gonna do that, if you make this album, cut it out.
I don't want to hear it.
I would not have believed them at all.
Yes.
I was speechless from that moment. Because everybody was there. I was in tears afterwards. I sang my heart out. I don't remember what happened. I was cute though.
Yes, you were. I know you were. I was
so glad.
Yes.
I'm so glad people came though.
Yes. It was an amazing experience.
I can't believe you were there.
Yes, I was so mad because I was like working on something else, and I was like, "She's inside. Let me in." You know,
I wish
it was an amazing thing.
You'll never have to worry about that ever again.
Thank you. I truly appreciate it. So where do you see, like, is there any way we can revive it, or like, what are you trying to do with it? I know a lot of times when incredible artists do things like this, they're working with something up their sleeve. So we want to know what else you got going with it.
Well, there's more jazz stuff I want to do, but I'm waiting it out and choosing my options carefully. There's another great I want to honor. I'm still figuring that part out.
Okay.
Because I think she coincides with all the work that you're doing and the work that I'm doing, or that our legacy of R&B is doing. So I'm just figuring that part out. But for now, I'm just trying to give the people what they asked for, more of my music.
This 27-city tour, come on, The Good Life, featuring some incredible fellow R&B artists. Come on, let's talk about that. What can the audience expect and feel from this tour?
Listen, I am bringing back, first of all, let's talk about Raheem DeVaughn. He is Raheem DeVaughn.
Come on.
Raheem does.
Yeah.
And it's so great. It reminds me of the Marvin Gaye. It reminds me of Teddy P. It reminds me, it's nostalgic, but it's still his style in his contemporary way. And I love having him on the road. I just wanted to bring back the elegance that R&B had with the Luther vibe, and the old vintage R&B vibe, but still being Ledisi in between the worlds of R&B, contemporary and nostalgia. So you'll see the lighting, you'll see the dress, you'll see the gowns, and beautiful gowns, as Aretha would say. But I'm singing down, honey. I'm singing with my gown. Almost out of my gowns, okay?
Yes.
Like, hey, put those things away. I'm singing myself out of my gown.
Yes. I mean, you always do. You always give it your all. Anyone who's seen you perform. And I was talking to a friend of mine who was like so excited about your show and just saying like, she's phenomenal. She's like one of America's greatest treasures. And I was like, I would agree with that. And we also had a discussion, yes, for sure, about how, you're such a powerhouse. And, do you ever wonder, or how do you feel about when people are like, oh, she's such an underrated artist who deserves so much more notoriety and so many more accolades than what she has? Like, how does that make you feel as an artist when you hear that?
I feel like I'm getting everything, and I'm wherever I belong. I deserve to be right there in that moment. I feel like God has a bigger plan, bigger than the one I had for myself.
Yeah.
Because I've been experiencing it, and I love the way that I'm getting my flowers. I'm getting them the way I'm supposed to get them. You know what I mean? Of course, I want the jet, honey. Of course, I want I want 10 Grammys. Of course I want like
Yeah.
a whole bunch of arena shows so I can buy another house. You know what I mean? Of course.
Right. Right.
I want, like everybody else, I want those things. But I'm so appreciative of the path that I've gotten because it led me to some of the greats. It led me to some of the greatest relationships.
Yeah.
With not just the greats, but people who are incredible in their right, in their space.
Yeah.
That I enjoy. I don't think they're at the bottom. I just think they're where they are and they're not as popular as everything. I love that. Now I'm becoming like, I don't want to be popular. I like it right. They're like if you talk to Tasha, she'll be like, my publicist, she's like, we need you in the, I don't want to. I don't want to do, I'd rather just send them an email. They're like, no.
Right.
Need to see you more, and they're loving these visuals, and you got to be seen. And I'm enjoying the people I met that aren't of a popularity thing. They love the art, though. Know their work, and that's what I want to be known for now. I'm happy. If underrated means not always seen, fine. Discover me. I love people who explore, and then they discover me, and they discover other parts of my work. From an album that was more rock to an album that's Nina Simone to an album that's more like Good Life. Mm-hmm. Discover, be an explorer, and go hunt for me. That's right.
Yes.
And then you find me and I become this thing for you. And what's beautiful about my fan base, they stay forever.
Yes.
They're not flighty. They don't.
I would agree.
On your trend.
Yes.
They stay till death do us part. They are like, play my song at the funeral, That's the thing about I am becoming this day's Anita or this day's Patty. Meaning I'm becoming like how they make me feel.
Yeah.
I'm making another generation feel that way.
That's
what I mean by that. So I'm okay with you discovering me late. Maybe you're underrated and you're not finding quickly. It's you. Yes. To hurry up, and there's so many great artists right now that oh my God. That's why I'm so happy you have this platform, because you're showcasing the underrated,
Right.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
So I look at it as like a compliment, or I don't look at it at all. I'm just doing my good work and letting God do the rest. I can't control popularity or any of that. So yes. Totally agree. And I feel like you're in the best spot though, because you are able to give us your craft and share your gifts with the world. And those who know your music, their life is more enriched from it. And the goal, right?
Yes, that's the goal. And you can still have a life, where you can go out and not be hounded and swarmed with these crazy paparazzi. So we like you where you are. We think you're incredible. And we're just gonna keep on supporting you. But let's talk about your singles. Right. Let's just get right into it. Your first single, I Need to Know, which hit the #1 spot on the billboards, and Sell Me No Dreams, a real song, truth teller. And that's starting to climb up on the charts. And as you already mentioned, Perfect Strangers featuring Kenny Lattimore. How do you feel about being on the charts? Rightfully so, where you belong. How does that feel when you see it pop up? You're like, oh my God, here I am, and now I'm at the #1 spot. How does that feel?
Man, when Anything for You, that became my first #1, and then I Need to Know became the second, I was blown away.
Yeah.
I just wasn't prepared for radio to respond that way. And now Sell Me No Dreams is, I'm like, hold on a second. I'm always blown away by a song that was just in the box, on my phone idea.
Right.
It comes out in the world and it goes somewhere. It's just still mind blowing. I don't think I'll ever get used to that. I still freak out when I hear it on a streaming side, or when my husband and I will be driving and I'm like, that's my voice. It's crazy. Turn it off. He's like, no, let's listen to it. Yeah. Turn it up. He's like, get this.
Yes, get it.
Yes,
I love that. So obviously you have this tour that you're on right now, and we're not going to
Yes.
take up too much more of your time. But what
Yeah,
else
that's
can we
why I
look?
look like this.
No,
Otherwise,
you look amazing. If this is just a whatever put together, we already know what you look like. Okay, let's just talk about that. So you're fabulous at all times. Really quickly, talk about, you became a Delta recently.
Yes, man.
Yes.
Look, I'm about to throw it at
I'm not in a sorority, but I feel like if I was, that would be one that I would definitely be up there on the list.
Of course. Why not?
As my cousin put it, I have a lot of Deltas in my family, and she was like, come on, baby, that's where the best are. And I'm like, okay. So what made you decide to just go and pledge and become a member?
I have always wanted to become a Delta, but because of my schedule and school, I didn't finish like I wanted to.
Yeah.
I just said one day, I hope it happens, but it can't happen now. I have to do this.
Mhm.
And my grandmother was a Delta. My eldest sister is a Delta. I have like a plethora of cousins.
That are Deltas.
Hello. So I've been offered to be something else, but my family would look at me like, really?
How dare you?
So I couldn't do it. And I just waited until it happened, and I would do events, and I didn't know I had so many Deltas around me. They were always there. They were always. I went, what? You too? Like,
me
girl,
too.
We just been waiting to see. So when it happened, they made me an honorary Delta, and it, along with some people that I love, my line sisters that I love deeply and have always been a fan of, and one of them, Dr. Shabazz, she's like, Malcolm X's daughter.
Yeah.
She's one of my greatest friends that she didn't tell me anything I didn't know she was gonna be a Delta like her mother.
Wow.
And that blew, we were on the same line, and I looked at her, I said, oh my God, we've been talking to each other for years. She was like a therapist for me.
Yeah.
So it's blown me away that the Deltas have always been around, and I knew one day it would happen. I didn't know when. I said, well, maybe when I'm 90, they'll make me an honor. It's okay. But it happened, and I couldn't say a word, and I was just so happy about it. So that's that. I mean, I just think the womanhood, the sisterhood, and the bonds that happen with Delta women are just completely different. It's always over of being service, to others, and that's what they were looking at from me. And they saw that I was advocating a lot, and they were like, oh, okay, well, we'll see. But they were also knowing that I belong there.
They felt it. They knew it was in your genes. Yes.
And I kept feeling like, maybe I don't. They were like, no, you do.
You do. Sorry to tell you, but you do. You do. Oh my gosh.
Our sisterhood. They come to every show.
That's amazing.
Every show.
That's amazing. Wow. You are just, just even sitting here talking to you for this short period of time, it's been incredible getting to know you and feeling your warmth. Oh, thank you. And it's really rare when you find genuine artists, who are like, you're incredible on stage and you seem really incredible just in life. And I just want to hug you and just hug you. Virtual hug and just tell you that when I'm thinking of you, which I said to one other artist who is another phenomenon, the 96 Psalm verse 5, that God is within her, she won't fall. So it's paraphrasing it a little bit. It's that, and I think of that when I see you. So kudos to you. You are.
Thank you for that.
Yes, your favorite.
What a blessing that is.
Yes.
I received that. I need to hear that today. I was a little grumpy because I was like, I gotta get up early and I'm on tour. My voice is, but this has been worth it. This is
thank you.
Worth every second. It always is, but this is even more special, I have to say. Yeah.
Thank you.
You have asked great questions, and I just really want you to know too, thank you for uplifting R&B music, because, and in every facet. You don't just do it in the contemporary way. but you make sure you honor all the stuff in between and all that was before. And that's not, it's hard to do when people want you to stay, oh, look at just these artists. Thank you for being open. That means a
thank
lot.
you.
So
Thank
you're doing the good work too. Now
Thank
you're
you.
stuck with me forever.
I'll be stuck with you. I'll be stuck with you. And that means a lot to me because, you know, just a little piece of This Is R&B's history. It was actually my husband's company. He was a true advocate for This Is R&B. He loved R&B music like no other, and unfortunately he passed. But I was like, I gotta keep the legacy going, and it makes me feel good to hear like you saying that you still love what we're doing, and like we don't miss a beat. So I appreciate you, and I appreciate
well, thank you for telling me the history. You're doing, see, that's even huger. Like you're keeping the legacy going. So thank you for that. Wow.
Yeah.
You're gonna make me cry, girl.
I don't cry because then I'm gonna start crying and we just be up here a mess. Well, I'm trying to end this show on a good note, even though this is a positive note. But you know, it's been amazing meeting you virtually. I can't wait to meet you in person.
Yes.
Guys,
you will never miss another show, okay?
Never. Thank you. Thank you. Guys, make sure you check out her latest album, Good Life, and check out her phenomenal 27 tour, hitting a city near you, the Good Life Tour, with some incredible other R&B artists. And of course, support her at all costs and any and everything that she does, guys. Make sure you support, keep her uplifted, and take care. And we'll see you guys next time on ThisIsRnB.com.
Bye, y'all.
Thank you so much.